Hey guys, today we're out on the sawmill. The log up here is between 7 and 8 inches. It's 7 inches on one side and 8 inches on the other. And it's just over 8 feet long. It's about 8 foot 4. This is probably the smallest diameter log I'm going to put on the sawmill just because there's not a whole lot there to get boards off of. But in the past I have gotten some decent boards, probably 4 or 5 of them, out of a log this size. So I'm going to take the opportunity and cut this up, and we'll see what we get on the inside. So I've got my first inch board cut off of there. And because of the way this log sits, it's got a pretty good bend right in the middle of it. So if I were to flip that log over, this part would actually end up off of my sawmill because of where my stops are located, which obviously is not going to work if I'm using that blade to cut it. So what I have to do is I have to take that end, flip it over, and put it over here so that the bend stays in the same spot. And I'll show you how I do that in a second. So now I've got that log flipped over. I like to flip them over if I can, just to get the flat side. It seems to be more stable when it's sitting across the bunks. You can perfectly, I mean, it's pretty easy to just go through the entire thing and flat saw it or live edge saw it and just leave it in one spot. I tend to flip them if I can, like I said, just to get the stability out of later cuts. So I cut those two boards into 1.5 inches, and I cut another inch off the top. So I've got an inch board here, an inch board there, and 2 1.5 inch boards still on the sawmill. Unfortunately, I missed the cutting. I thought I had hit record, and I didn't. So you guys missed me having to fix my blade about right here. I had to drop this guy so that I didn't hit him. And I think with all that vibration, I lowered just enough on this handle that I had a little trouble getting started again. So I had to fix my measurement. Again, I just line it up with whatever I'm cutting. So if I'm cutting 1.5 inches, I line it up with that 6, which is 6/4. If I'm cutting inch boards, I go to the 4, and I try and dial it in as best I can. If you're a little bit off one way or the other, and you're consistently off that way, you should be okay. So if I'm looking at it like this and I'm just above that red line, if I'm always just above that red line, they're still coming out 4/4. So that's how I know how thick I'm cutting these boards, and we'll let them dry out and we'll see what we can get out of them. So guys, today I got to cut up some cherry. I've got a couple of 1-inch boards. This one here and this one here. And a couple of 1.5 inch boards, which is the other two. This one and the far one over here. So I think they turned out pretty good. They've got some nice coloring to them. Some nice figure. Down here where we had a branch coming off of there, gives it some character, and some nice coloring. On the outside it's yellow, on the inside it's kind of a reddish. So I think it's a real interesting wood. Glad I got to cut it, and we'll have to see what the other two logs, this one and this one right here off to the right, end up looking like on the inside. So, thanks for watching.